Delivers and beats Onana.
He's gone a bit early with that, although Onana football!
3 months ago, Manchester United's season was on life support. The defense was leaking. The confidence was gone. The theater of dreams had become a place of pure, unadulterated panic. If you walked into Old Trafford in late September, you could feel it in the air. A thickness, a tension that gripped your throat. Every time the opposition crossed the halfway line, 75,000 people held their breath. Not in anticipation, but in fear. Everyone pointed fingers at the manager. Everyone blamed the tactics. The media cycle spun its usual web of chaos, dissecting every press conference and every substitution. But the real problem was much simpler. It was foundational. You cannot build a house on shaky ground. And you cannot challenge for the top four when your goalkeeper is a source of chaos. But then, everything went quiet. The panic stopped. The clean sheets returned. The screaming headlines were replaced by a strange, unfamiliar consistency. One signing changed everything. Not a £100 million striker. Not a celebrity superstar with a massive social media following. But a 23-year-old Belgian who cost less than a reserve winger. This is the story of Senne Lammens. And this is how he saved Manchester United's 2025-26 season. To understand the magnitude of the Lammens effect, we have to go back. We have to remember exactly where we were in September. Because memory in football is short, and it is easy to forget just how broken this team was. The André Onana experiment had failed. It wasn't just about the goals conceded. If you look at the statistics, plenty of goalkeepers concede goals. It was the type of goals. Soft shots that squirmed under bodies. Miscommunication on simple set pieces. The erratic rushes of blood to the head that left the goal gaping wide open. Goalkeeping is a position of projection. What you feel, the team feels. And Onana projected anxiety. The defense didn't trust him. You could see it in the body language of Lisandro Martinez and Matthijs de Ligt. Watch the tapes from August again. Watch how they hesitate every time the ball goes backward. They weren't playing their natural game. They were playing with one eye over their shoulder, terrified of what calamity was unfolding behind them. When a defender doesn't trust his goalkeeper, he drops 5 yards deeper. He stops stepping up to engage the striker. The entire defensive line collapses backward, inviting pressure, inviting shots, inviting disaster. United were drifting. Mid-table mediocrity looked guaranteed. The fans were calling for heads to roll. The atmosphere was toxic. And then, quietly, on deadline day, a transfer happened that nobody really celebrated. It scrolled across the bottom of the screen on Sky Sports News, barely registering above the noise of bigger deals. Senne Lammens, Royal Antwerp, £18 million. Most fans asked, who? Most pundits said, he's a backup, a body to fill the bench. Social media was underwhelming. There were no highlight reels of him making scorpion kicks or spraying 60-yard passes. The data analysts said he was solid, but unspectacular. They were wrong. They were all wrong. October 2025, the Sunderland game. It wasn't a spectacular game for the neutral. In fact, if you weren't a United fan, you probably turned it off. It was gritty. It was scrappy. It was cold. But for the Stretford end, it was a revelation. For the first time in months, nothing happened. Let me repeat that. Nothing happened. There were no heart-in-mouth moments. There were no misplaced passes to the opposition striker. There was no scrambling across the goal line. Lammens didn't try to be a playmaker. He didn't try to reinvent the position. He didn't take risks to prove he could play with his feet. He just caught the ball. He stood in the right place. He made the saves he was supposed to make. He kept a clean sheet. And suddenly, the whole team took a breath. We have become obsessed in modern football with the sweeper keeper. We want our number ones to be number 10s. We want them to start attacks. But we forgot the primary job description. Keep the ball out of the net. Goalkeeping isn't always about the miracle save. Sometimes, it's about being boring. Emphasis, Lammens brought boredom back to the United goal. And after the chaos of the last 2 years, boredom felt like a luxury. It felt like oxygen. Since that debut, the numbers are frightening. United have climbed from the mid-table swamp right into the heat of the top 4 race. The trajectory is vertical. But why? Is Lammens making 5 world-class saves a game? No. The reason is that the stupid goals stopped. The momentum killers. The goals that drain the life out of a stadium. Look at the chemistry with the back line. This is the hidden metric that FIFA cards and stat sheets don't show you. Lammens speaks the language of command. When he shouts, the defenders listen. Not because he is aggressive, but because he is clear. He isn't just a shot stopper. He is an organizer. He moves Martinez 3 yards to the left before the cross comes in. He tells the Ligt to hold his line before the runner makes his move. He is preventing the chance before it even happens. The expected goals conceded, the XG against United, has dropped dramatically. Not because the defenders suddenly became world-class overnight. Martinez didn't learn how to tackle again in a week. The Ligt didn't get a pace upgrade. They improved because they aren't terrified anymore. They know Lammens is behind them. They know that if they miss a header, there is a pair of safe hands waiting. This allows them to be aggressive again. It allows United to push their defensive line higher, which allows the midfield to press, which allows the forwards to score. It all starts at the back. It all starts with trust. We are now in March. The season that looked dead in the water is alive and kicking. Champions League football isn't just a dream. It's a realistic target. The skepticism of the autumn has been replaced by a quiet, steely optimism. And it's built on this foundation. Senne Lammens might not have the distribution of Ederson. He might not have the global fame of Alisson. He might never win the Ballon d'Or. But he has something United have missed since the prime years of Edwin van der Sar. Reliability. There is a specific aura to a Manchester United goalkeeper. Schmeichel had it. Van der Sar had it. For a long time, De Gea had it. It's the ability to stand alone in that massive goal frame under the lights of Old Trafford and look like you belong there. To look like you are in control. Lammens has that aura. He makes the difficult look easy. And he makes the impossible look routine. He doesn't dive for the cameras. He doesn't scream at his defenders to deflect blame. He just does the job. Manchester United have spent hundreds of millions trying to fix their problems. They have bought wingers, strikers, holding midfielders, and tactical gurus. They have changed managers and CEOs. But in the end, the solution cost £18 million and came from Belgium without a fanfare. It is a lesson for the club, and perhaps a lesson for modern football. Sometimes, you don't need the shiny new toy. Sometimes, you just need competence. You need character. Senne Lammens didn't just replace a goalkeeper. He replaced fear with confidence. He took a broken, nervous group of players and gave them a platform to stand on. I want to know your opinion. Is Senne Lammens the Premier League signing of the season? Or are we getting carried away too soon? Can he keep this form up until May? Or will the pressure eventually crack him too? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of United's revival,